ranga riri jecha ivhu iri. Ndobva ndatanga kugadzirisa ivhu racho iri ndichirima ndichisanganisa lime yatinotenga kwa Mr. Beren, ndichisanganisa sanimu yaitipa toisa. Kana maisa sanimu hamubude sora rinotsva. Saka gore randakatanga 2014 ndipo ndakatanga kuita izvozvo. Ndinokohwa 1.5 ton pa Pfumvunza yatinoita iyi. Saka makore ese aya handisati ndaona nzara kusvika izvozvi. Gore rino ronzi rine nzara rino ndakakohwa 15 bags nechimwe chakasarira chishoma-shoma, asi chimwe chegore rapera ndinacho. Saka family iri kuHarare ndikupota ndichivapawo kana 3 bags 4 bags noma next door vanova vachitengawo futi pandiri pa. Pfumvunza yakanakira mukaisa makomba aya, mvura yenyu nefeeding inenge iri pamwe chete ipapo pagomba, hakuna kwainoenda, inochengeteka ipapa. Gore rino ndachera gomba rangu ipapa, panotove nelime ipapa nezvimwe zvauya chikafu ipapa manyowa. Pfumvunza chakanakira mvura kana kusina mvura, ikanaya mvura shoma-shoma takaisa mauchi, inobatwa nemauchi iyo. Chibagwe chachona mukadarika munoona chakaita green, hachipinde zuva. Ndomanakira akaita Pfumvunza. Zvakasiyana kurima nemombe kana netractor, panosara paoma pesa apa, panosara pasina mvura, but mvura inenge irimo. Nyange ukatora 5 liters uchidira kana 2 liters uchidira makomba chinobuda chibagwe chako chese. Ndinokurudzirawo hama dzangu vamwe vari mumaruva mamisha umu kuti tiite zvepfumvudza izvi. Hamutomboita nzara pamusha kana muchiita zvepfumvudza izvi. Nzara inopera. Ngatiteedzerei zvepfumvudza izvi zviri kutiudza hurumende kuti tiite. Ngatichere, tisaseme misana kuti tikunzwa misana kana kuita sei. Ngatiteedzerei tichiisa mauchi edu tichiita. Unoona kupera kwegore unokohwa zvaunenge wakohwa. Vari kukopera zvokutoti mumisha mese watopera kuchera makomba fanikana. Mr. Beren vakandibatsira zvikuru nesanimu, vachidipa sanimu yekuisa kuti muite manyowa ndibike dhaka rangu, nelime yatinotora kwavo ikoko vane maini yavo inoita lime. Saka tinotora kwavo ikoko lime nesanimu tinopiwa, tobva taisa munda, vanotipa pachena pasina kubhadhara. Mbeu yandinoshandisa pano ise 56 inopa muguru wakanaka mbeu iyoyo. Pa 1 line yamuri kuona iyi inobuditsa bucket nehafu 1 line. Mbeu yacho inenge yakakura yakafuta zvokuti ukatokonyora so kamuguru kanosara kari kadiki, but mumaoko mune matozara nembeu yakawandisa. Saka mbeu iyi hama dzangu dai mamboizama muchirimo. Inini pa 11 years dzandaita dzese idzi ndiyo yandongorima pano pamurikutarisa panapa. Ndinotokohwa chibagwe changu chakanaka. Haitete zuva kana mchana, imbeu yakanaka, upfu wachona wakachena. Ndinotenda Mr. Stokio, ndichishanda nawo tiri kufarm tichitanga kugadzira mapivot aya. Iyi ndiye kutangisa kugadzira pivot iyi. Ivo vakati patagadzira pivot yekutanga ndotanga kukupa pivot iyi. Ini ndobva ndati ndega ndichimoyo ndakacha ndikati munhu ari kuda kuti sere kana kuti ari kungondinyepe. Ndikaona chokwadi akati tora motikari takura uende naye kumba kwako unoisa kumunda kwako. Ndakabva ndafunga kuti kabanga ndiri kurota kana kuti ndikuita sei, asi ndakaziva kuti ndapiwa nhaka yekuti haipere mupenyu wangu kana ndachembera kana ndaita sei ndenge ndiri panapa. Ndakagara vazukuru vangu vachimanya-manya ndichiona kuti basa riri kufamba sei, ndichikohwa chibagwe changu chepfumvudza ndiri pano. Ndiyo pivot yamuri kuona iyi yandiri kutaura nemazvo. Inhaka pivot, haisei kutamba nayo. Haife, hapana chinofa, uri mukaitarisa hapana chinofa. Inenge ichingoita zvainenge ichiita. Mvura ichidira ichitendera nemvura, mvura ichibuda pakapaipi kamuri kuona inenge ichingorova mavhiri aya ichitendera saizvozvi, mvura ichibuda ichitendera saizvozvi. Saka inhaka kuona wapiwa chinhu chakadai unofana kutendawo mudzimu yako kuti aiwa mudzimu mandibatsira. Ndofunga mukaonawo zvakadai kumusha muchitenga utokadai tunhu tunenge twakanaka mune mvura yenyu muchiita pamusha. Munokohwawo zvamunenge muchikohwa, kana ari mapotatoes munokohwa mapotatoes, kana chamunenge muchiita kurima chirimwa chinokohweka. Semafama mahombe zvavanoita isi tinokohwawo kumusha tichiwanawo mavegetable. Ndinogara ndichirimawo ndichiwana. Gore rino chete mvura ndiyo yatinetsei mchana, asi ndadzikisa mugodhi wangu pasi kureva kuti ndakutotanga kuisa masidi erape yatakapiwa nehurumende yakawanda, sidi yatakapiwa. Saka ndakutotanga kutoisa izvozvi kuti tisashaye muriwo muntaraunda.
I've been doing Intwasa Pfumvunza for many years now, and it started because of a passion to go out to the community and help people. And the question was how do you help people at household level throughout the country at the community base? And the first thing we had to do was to go and find out why the yields are so low in the communities. So we went from here to Motoko. When I say from here, we Mrewa down to Motoko, and we took soil samples, and the soils came back on an acidity of 3.2 to 3.4 on an average throughout the communities. So the first thing we had to do was do lime, which was the most important thing to do. So from there it was how could we actually now make a program that could feed a family. So like I said in the beginning, this is about a passion and a vision. It's not just about me, it's about doing something for people that have got land, they possibly have some water, and what is the best way to utilize it. And we came into the way we decided that we'd call the program Intwasa Pfumvunza, which includes the Ndebelis and the Shona, and the word means the same thing. When the leaves fall off the trees, your land should be ready for the rains. So at the end of the day, the message really is about having your lands ready early on time. So from there we got the lime, we put it into the pack, we got a fertilizer, and I came into the communities and to understand how they used to feed their families. How did your granddads and their grandfathers farm, and what did they do to get their maize? So they would have a dura, and I came into the communities, I sat down with the people, and they would take a bucket of maize, shell it and take it to the mill, and that was enough to feed the family for a week. So one bucket of maize could feed the family for a week on average. So then we designed a piece of land that will take 56 plants in one line, which will fill a bucket of maize, which they could go and get milled. That came from the grandparents, you guys. That's where this came from. And then we did 52 lines for 52 weeks of the year. And then you have fed the nation on a household level. And then if they can feed their family, why can't they make a profit? It's all about doing things on time at the right standard. And behind me here, this guy that I've been with, Francis, we've been doing this for 11 years, and he hasn't bought maize in 11 years. Not even this year in the drought has he bought maize. But this land, we've been preparing it, getting the stover right, planting some sun hemp in here, and with a little bit of water from his borehole, and he's been able to water this little bit of land when it needs water at the critical times, and he's been able to feed his family for the last 11 years. The vision was about once the family has been able to feed themselves, okay, what's the next stage? How do you improve his life? Because he has to live, he has to have money to be able to send his kids to school, to be able to buy clothes, to be able to take his kids to the hospital or his family, and to improve their lives. So this was stage one, was feed your family. Because if a man's hungry, how can he do any work? So feed your family, then how do you make a profit? Then we wanted to go to 4 plots per person, and 3 were to be marketed, and 1 was to support the family. Then once we got the community together, would be to put a grinding mill into the areas, and they would grind their own maize, and the maize would go from the community into Harare, and then they would have a partnership in the mill, and some meal would be left for the community, and the profit would be shared into the communities. That's how the program was meant to work. And then we could go to groundnuts, all sorts of programs, from where we've got the central the hub to to be able to manufacture stuff, and that could grow into whatever next we wanted to do in the community. We came here in 2015, and we put a program into the school to do maize for the school. So the program was to do say maybe 2 Intwasa Pfumvunza, or how many ever they could manage according to the amount of children could bring water to school. So we got the grade 7s on the first year to bring 2 liters of water, and they were we did one plot of Intwasa Pfumvunza maize, and they were to bring 2 liters of water to school every day to water their maize. So they've been doing it ever since then, and this is the maize that they reaped this last year. You can see the size of the stalks. It looks quite good. So they actually have been very successful. To get the project going properly, we bought Intwasa Pfumvunza packs out here, which had lime, which is absolutely critical for the soils, and had the seed in there. It was ZAP 63 seed that we had put in here, fertilizer, and we did 2 plots of Intwasa Pfumvunza on the first year, and that became the marking point for what could be achieved at the school. And I haven't been back since then, but they've taken up the initiative, and they've been doing it themselves, and they've been very successful at it.
One of the reasons why we came up with this program was also to complement the homegrown school feeding program. The homegrown school feeding program is a ministerial policy where we are saying we are supposed to feed our children, our learners, from what we can produce. And one of those which we can produce is maize for their staple food, sadza. Right? Now, from last year, around July last year, we made 3 plots. This is the first one, the second one there, and the third one. And we managed to make some plant stations in preparation for the implementation of the program. And I'm quite happy. When the first rains fell, we planted our crop. We are so happy because we were given a status of being the best farmer in our district, and the field day was hosted here on the 27th of February this year. So it's an honor that we carry, maybe for life, being awarded such a status. But what I'm quite happy about is that we are feeding our children, of course not daily, but twice a week, which is quite commendable. Even the community is very happy about that. We are feeding them with what we can produce. Here and there, maybe once a month, we slaughter chickens that we produce here. I shall show you the fowl runs there. We slaughter them and we feed our children. We take some vegetables from the garden. We also feed them. Now, from the produce of this year, we have never supplemented mealie meal because we have enough to feed our children, perhaps up to October. Yeah, the community is very grateful about our efforts because, number one, it is saving their little income that they have. Actually, they know that our children are getting, on Wednesday, they are getting a lunch. They are assured of a hot meal at the school, which is quite good. And as a school, we are also grateful because we are now seeing an increased retention of children, reduced absenteeism, which is quite commendable when it comes to our duty of teaching our children. So what we are planning this year is to extend this plot. As you can see, we've cleared all that land in an attempt to make sure that at least next time we produce much better results than what we did this year. What you can see here are efforts of pupils or learners at St. Peter's Matunike Primary School. In Zimbabwe, agriculture is a compulsory learning area, it's a compulsory subject, meaning every child who passes through primary education must undergo or must learn agriculture. And what you can see here is a product of applied education, applied agriculture, where we are saying what they learn in the classroom there, they apply it outside here in reality. So what we did here, we did it, or these plant stations that you can see here, it was part of the practical aspect of learning agriculture. So we took turns marking and actually digging the holes. So in short, what we are saying here is our children are getting the practical experience of real life situation, where we are saying what they are learning at this school is actually what they are practicing at home.
Sangana na Beren Stockholm 2015-2016 farming season. Ndo pakauya ine chikumbiro chekuti tiite Pfumvunza Mamangwende. The acting chief then tikatenderana kuti ayo zvakanaka atsanangudza maitirwo anoitwa Pfumvunza, tikatenderana kuti ayo muono wakadai wakanaka unoda kuitwa Mamangwende. Season hiyo takatanga kuita Pfumvunza, that was 2015-2016. Patakamira pana pandu yengeri demonstration plot emamurewa, ndo patakatangira kuita Pfumvunza tine community Mamangwende. Chikoro hachina kuzomira kubva ipapo kubva season iyoyo kusvika nhasi. Kuti Pfumvunza iyi inobatsira chikoro pamafeeding programs evana wavo. As we speak, mugore rino iri vakakohwa kubva kumaplots avo ekunge vakaita waita hand irrigation. Paine chibage chinoshamisa chaita sekunge chaitwa kune imwe nzvimbo isiri Mamangwende muno. Pari zvino kutaura kunoku vanokwanisa kufidha vana vavo vachidya sadza kubva muchibage chavakarima chePfumvunza pano. Asi pakuona kwedu vanoda kunge vakuchiwandudzwa kuti vakure kubva pane zvavari kuita, kuti fine vanenge vachiita hand irrigation, but zvakanaka kuti nemvura yavainayo vakwanisa kuisa even a smaller pivot pane dzinogadzirwa muno, kuti vakure kubva mukurima kwavari kuita kwe-hand irrigation. Zvakanaka kuti vana vanodzidza even hand irrigation iyoyo, nekuti pavanozoenda kudzimba kusikwese kunenge kuine irrigation emapivots. So zvakanaka kuti vanoramba vachiita hand irrigation, but the other side vanoda kunzwisisa kuti technology inovabatsira sei. So tinofunga kuti mukukura kwavanoita zvakanaka kuti waine kapivot kavo, since waine mvura yanoda kuzoonekwa hayo kuti inonyatsokwanira ere kuita izvozvo.
You find this on a Catch the Young project. This is going on very well here at St. Peter's in Mukarakate, whereby the students or the school rather was introduced into Pfumvunza by Mr. Stockhill. So they are doing it very well, and the way they are using it is you find they are growing their maize, and then during the dry spells they are using the children to come and they bring water, 2 liters of water, and they pour on each station so the plant does not suffer stress. And with this project here, it is good in the sense that the children are appreciating Pfumvunza, the children at the same time are appreciating agriculture, at the same time they are appreciating the contribution towards their meals which they have at the school, because you find every day they have lunch with vegetables from the garden. Sometimes if they've got chickens, they also have lunch, which is their sadza with the chickens, which they are raising on the at the school. So with these projects here at the school, you find that it's easier now for the children to take the knowledge back home, where they actually ask their parents to replicate the project. So we emulate this project, and we also encourage other schools to carry out a similar school project, whereby the school is benefiting directly, instead of asking the parents to contribute food to feed the children. You find the school actually is doing it on its own, and the monies which the parents are supposed to be contributing, like at this particular school, the parents contributed or raised money to sink a bore and buy a tank, which they've already done. And there are plans that there is irrigation which is going to be installed here, which is also a beneficial to the school. And we encouraging schools to take up these projects, so that at least we catch our children while they are young, as they are growing into agriculture, so that they can also practice and grow with an appreciation of agriculture and its benefits.